Hey yo, Antonio.
This is what it's like to drive illegally.
For you to obtain a driver's license, you need to pass a vision test known as the Driving Vision Standard. This is either done at the Department of Transport or at your local optometrists. But today, we'll be looking at how blurry your vision has to be before it becomes illegal to drive. I'll start by showing you vision that is normal and progressively increase the level of myopia until everything on the road becomes blurry and illegal to drive on. Along the way, I will share with you some interesting facts about our vision and driving. But before we begin, what is myopia? Myopia, commonly referred to as nearsightedness, is when the eyeball grows longer than normal, and as a result, the vision is not focused properly on the retina, leading to blurry vision. Those that have nearsightedness require glasses to see in the distance and may even have a condition written on their license indicating that they need glasses to drive. But without further ado, let's get right into it. The first video is the vision of a person who has normal eyesight. It is a very nice sunny day in the Sunshine Coast in Queensland, Australia. Everything on the road, from the street signs to the cars, appear pretty clear. And if you're watching this from the US, the only weird thing you'll notice is that I'm driving on the left side of the road, because that's just what we do here. Let's now take a look at something a little blurrier. I have now introduced one diopter of nearsightedness, and at this point, you can see that the road itself isn't overly blurry. But if you take a closer look at the street signs, you can see that it becomes noticeably more difficult compared to before. I would consider this vision borderline illegal, because at an optometry clinic, the driving vision standard, which is the top line here, will be difficult to read. Whereas outdoors, in good lighting conditions, the vision doesn't seem as bad. Moving on to -2. This is the point at which it is absolutely illegal to drive. Because what I'm showing you here is nearsightedness, you can see that everything inside the car is actually quite clear, whereas everything outside is a complete blur. In Australia, the penalty for driving without glasses when required to can be up to $300. Now let's take a look at -3. At this point, this is nothing but a complete fuzz, even on a bright sunny day. You might be sitting there thinking, well, my glasses are -3, and I see things worse than what is shown here. Well, that is because at the time of filming this, due to the bright sunny weather outside, I had to reduce my aperture size. Otherwise the footage would have been completely overexposed. This is similar to how our pupils work and is the reason why we tend to see things much clearer during the day than at night. But what would happen if the lighting wasn't as good? To demonstrate this, I got up at 6 AM the next morning before the sun came up, and you'll see what kind of difference the sun can make. I've now arrived at an airport, and I'm about to board a flight. The flight schedule screen is a great way to show the difference in clarity with the varying levels of myopia. This video was a ton of fun to make, and I'm hoping to simulate myopia in various other scenarios. So if you have any suggestions on what I should experiment with next, feel free to drop a comment and it might just be the next video. The flight is boarding very soon. Let's check out what it looks like on the aircraft itself. I managed to get a window seat, and this is another great example of why the brightness outdoors makes a huge difference to the vision. I was expecting the vision to be much worse than what is shown here, but because I had to reduce the aperture size once again, the blurriness isn't as bad as what I had imagined. I tend to always go for the window seats because I get to check out what it looks like outside. It's always fun seeing how small everything looks from up in the sky. The last example I have for you today is the exit sign on the ceiling of an airplane. Because it's not as bright inside, it should let us see a bigger difference when it comes to the varying levels of myopia. This is also a nice way of showing that only things in the distance appear blurry with myopia. We can see here that the safety instruction manual remains nice and clear while the exit sign in the distance is fuzzy. But that just about wraps it up for today. A fun little video that shows us the effect of myopia while traveling. If you learned something new, or at least found something useful, then yay, thumbs up to you. If you want to thumbs up back, then they'll be greatly appreciated. Subscribe if you haven't already, and I'll see you in the next video.